Time for our Rivers Casino tips to win, courtesy of Bob Airy.
How about Sidney Crosby getting on the board? He's been quiet in the last couple of hockey games and against Ottawa. Exploit Karlsson. He goes up ice. You go in behind him. He's offensive-minded defenseman and move this man, Anderson, side to side, goes east to west plays. And there's our Kia starting goaltender, Marc-Andre Fleury, 29, looking to get to 30 for the sixth time in his career.
And the Hyundai starting goaltender is Craig Anderson, who got the shutout against Pittsburgh. He stopped 27 shots on December 23rd, and that was a nice win for him after being blown out pretty much by the Penguins in the playoffs last year. Paul McLean says, well, the Penguins are a different team than the one we played on December 23rd. The Pens do have Evgeny Malkin in the lineup, and Dan Bilesma a little concerned about the energy level of the Penguins to start the game tonight because of the long road trip. So he's starting Brandon Sutter, Tanner Glass, and Taylor Pyatt, Rob Scuderi, and Robert Bortuzzo. He said, I want to be more aggressive early because of the possibility of a lack of energy. So he wants to set that tone right away, and they do it against Zach Smith, Colin Greening, and Chris Neal of the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, Mathot's on the ice, Neal's on the ice. Look out, you could have fireworks early in this game. Mathot's the man to put out the Puig.
And of course, Neal out here, he's got a ton of penalty minutes in his career, and one of the top penalty minute guys in the league this year. Here's Sutter shooting the puck, and it's going to float to the glove of Craig Anderson. And some words after the whistle. Tanner Glass and Neal exchange pleasantries here.
Yeah, Pyatt went down the dressing room, down the runway to the dressing room on the first shift for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he is being escorted down there. A big bodied guy at 6'5". Take a look at the right side of the screen here. Let's take a look and see what happens. Boy, it looks like he just kind of a knee-on-knee type thing there as he went to deliver a hit. I mean, it's like a Charlie horse type situation for Pyatt.
Well, the Penguins were able to get the puck to the offensive zone, and now a face-off. Sidney Crosby taking the draw for the Penguins against Jason Spezza. Around now for Chris Kunitz. Kunitz sends it back into the corner. Gibbons couldn't get it. McCulloch gave it away to Kunitz. He looked for Crosby in front, but Jared Cowan right there to take it away for the Senators. Backhands it up the boards, and Milan McCulloch will carry to center. McCulloch, which we just saw his brother Savinik McCulloch in Phoenix the other night. He's having a tough year, really, with 7 goals and a -23 for the Senators. Crosby's tripped up by Erik Karlsson, but he bounces right back up on his skates, and the puck is controlled by Brooks Orpik.
Wow, crowd here looking for a penalty on Karlsson. Karlsson trying to stand up on Crosby, who went to his forehand.
James Neal's on the ice at the moment, and the Penguins are going to make a change. As Brooks Orpik goes back for the puck, Kyle Turris on him. Orpik got it up the near wall where it's chipped back to the neutral zone by James Neal. Lucy Jokinen out here as well as Malkin. Malkin trying to poke it away from Clark MacArthur. And the Senators are offside as they enter the Penguin zone.
Well, Sidney Crosby, he's went around Erik Karlsson, the offensive-minded defenseman, many a time. And look at him trying to turn to the forehand. See, Karlsson's got his head down, playing the puck. Instead of looking at the chest of Sidney Crosby, that's not how you play a one-on-one. That man, he's very gifted offensively, as is that guy. But Erik Karlsson, I think he's a liability defensively. He's only been a plus player 2 of the last 21 games, and the Penguins have to exploit him.
Karlsson leads the league with 51 points, but he's a -15. The guy behind him, Duncan Keith of the Blackhawks, 48 points. He's a +18. Here's Evgeny Malkin coming to center ice. And quickly the Senators cut it off and dump it right back into the Penguin zone. The Senators were 3 games under 500 when these two teams met on December 23rd. They were 14-17-7. They are 10-4-3 since. I think the Penguins got them going that night in Ottawa. They played a great game to their credit, and it kind of turned their season around. Now they dump the puck to the Penguin zone, and Fleury's going to backhand it with a glove and hang on to it. And a face-off coming up in the Penguin zone.
Now there's a look at the big body of Robert Bortuzzo. He's been very physical, especially early in hockey games, setting the tone for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Something I believe they need down in front of their net. He can clear out bodies. Not an offensive guy whatsoever, but he can move pucks, and he wants to keep it simple.
Jason Spezza with Milan McCulloch and Mika Zibanejad. And Cowan with a puck, shoots it. And Fleury able to track that puck down and hang onto it against the logo. And another face-off coming up. Just to reiterate what we talked about, the Senators, what they've done since They played the Penguins back on December 23rd. That record includes, that 10-4-3 record includes that 5-0 win. They've been much better. And Paul McLean was really worried, I think, early in the year. They just weren't playing well at all. And everybody thought they would get off to a good start after a nice finish to last season. Karlsson risks the puck to the net. McCulloch tried to tip it. It comes near side to Spezza. He centers. And Spezza looks for the puck now, bumped. Good defensive work there by Kobasu. Cowan moves it to Karlsson. Another wrister, hits a stick. Paul Martin hustles back to the puck, getting body position on Spezza. Milan Michalek reaches in there, as does Kobasu. And it comes right back out to Karlsson. He can't keep it in.
Of course, Karlsson's the man who had the tendon severed by the skate of Matt Cook.
Now for Bobby Ryan, out of the reach of him, and it comes back to the Penguin defense. Bortuzzo to Scuderi. And back to Robert Bortuzzo. Right up the middle to Derek Engelland. Off to the corner now. Oh, shoulder to shoulder with Jared Cowan. Cowan's a big boy. Engelland went down. Cowan 6'5", 228 pounds. Pokes the puck free to the far wall. Bobby Ryan over to try to chip it out. Stays in, though, as the shot by Adams is blocked away by Anderson. Now Cowan with it again. Chris Phillips, the longtime defenseman of the Senators, is out of the lineup. Due back in a couple of games.
Interesting line here, Staggy, with Malkin out with Adams and Engelland. And remember, Pyatt injured on the first shift. That's going to change the dynamic of these lines right now. They're one forward short.
Scuderi over to Robert Bortuzzo. Those two getting comfortable with one another now that Chris Letang is out again. And Letang, it is said, will be undergoing some tests for an ailment that he has. And I know it's got to be frustrating to Scuderi. Here's Crosby trying to get to the puck just out of his reach. Mathot cut it off. One hands it up the wall right to Kunitz, and his shot comes to the glove of Craig Anderson, and he holds on.
Well, Neil's in the face of Sidney Crosby right now. So again, the Ottawa Senators are going to play rough on Sidney Crosby, try to get in his face and see how he deals with it, including guys like Mathot. And how about this collision from our Super Bowl presented by Allegheny Health Network? That was a big collision there in the corner. Cowan and Engelland.
Crosby to take the face-off against Zach Smith. Sid won it cleanly, but now off the stick of Niskanen. He just dumps it right back inside the line, but Zach Smith picks it up. Here he comes against Niskanen. He's able to get around him, but Crosby was back checking the whole way. Now out to Karlsson. Quick pass over for Cowan. Poked away nicely up the right wing by Gibbons. Fans thought there should have been a penalty. Kunitz to the goal, and the save made by Craig Anderson. I was looking back at the referee to see if there was going to be a call. So was Gibbons. Meanwhile, Kunitz made a beeline to the net, and Anderson stopped him.
Yeah, he was just cut off at the pass, trying to get in there. Speedy Kunitz. You can see the hit there and the play by Gibbons to get the puck out. Not much angle there on a backhand opportunity from Kunitz, who's already got 27 goals. There's the right winger, Gibbons.
Penguins win the draw. Malkin with a turning shot. Taken by Eric Gryba of the Senators, number 62, another big defenseman. They get a lot of big guys back on the blue line. Now they turn the puck over in the neutral zone, and Malkin leaves it for Neal. And his shot off the stick of Mika Zibanejad. Over to Neal for Malkin. Malkin looks for Jokinen cutting to the net. Instead, he goes to Neal. And tight on him was Gryba. Unable to get the shot through was Neal. And now Zibanejad will lug the puck to the Senators. Poked away beautifully by Paul Martin. Barging down the right wing is Milan Michalek. And offside is called on the Senators as they enter the Penguin zone.
Well, already physical here in this hockey game. Back right before Christmas, Pascal Dupuis was trying to help out. And he got in the way of Sidney Crosby after the hit from Mathot. Crosby came across and went right on that knee of Dupuis, and Dupuis is scheduled for ACL surgery in the upcoming week.
And Mathot said, hey, I get hit a lot too. And he said he talked to Pascal Dupuis today. And he called it a freak accident. He said, I got to do my job. I got to hit. You know, what if I let him go by me and he scores? And I'm the one that looks like an idiot. He said, basically, I did my job. Here's a shot by Conacher. Just drifted that one wide of the goal. Fleury was leaning the wrong way. Now here goes Kunitz to center. Looks to the left wing and passes the puck behind Crosby up into the Senators zone. Cox back to get it. Backhands it up the wall. Penguins try to recover the puck, but Crosby lost it. And Eric Conacher comes back down. Pulls up, drops it off. Eric Condra couldn't pull the trigger. And Niskanen sends it in behind for Chris Kunitz. 3 shots for the Penguins, 1 for the Senators. Although the Senators have launched a lot of pucks towards the net, they haven't been able to get them through. Now here is Olimata moving it out to center now to Brandon Sutter. Around Cowan. Sutter closes in. And a great glove save by Craig Anderson on Brandon Sutter, who had that far post ticketed. He scored a lot of goals doing that. That was a great save.
Talk about kind of getting speed out of your turns. Look how he crosses over. He's able, almost like a whip shot effect. And then a shot right into the glove of Anderson. Almost caught that puck behind his leg. But he was standing up. He was in position. The first couple of shots he was off his angle a little bit. The Pens already with 4 on the board. Wow, good speed there by Sutter.
Kyle Turris leans in to take the draw. Well, you can say that Jason Spezza is their #1 center, but after coming back from injury and the way Turris had been playing in his absence, Turris is now the #1 guy, really.
Plus 18 Turris on the season. Incredible.
Shot by Bortuzzo off a stick wide. Penguins were able to win the draw against Turris, and they continue to control the puck in the offensive zone, but now Bobby Ryan will take over. He's got 20 goals, 42 points for the Senators. Dumps the puck cross corner. Arthur always scores against the Penguins, it seems. He's out here, number 16, along with Turris and Ryan. Weirkott's going back to the puck and an icing call against the Penguins. Let's look at our UPMC Sports Medicine injury update. And Chris Letang is now missing his 3rd straight game, added to that list. Bo Bennett skating. Chris Connor was on the road trip. Joe Vitale was running up and down steps on the road.
And Taylor Pyatt is in the Penguins dressing room.
Exactly.
I love how that forward comes down to help out the Penguins on those face-offs. Great little play there.
Backhand shot taken by Stefan DaCosta. Went off a stick wide of the goal. Now back out to Jared Cowan. Cross ice Carlson. Another shot blocked by Craig Adams. The Penguins are doing a good job of getting in front of Carlson. He hasn't been able to get his shot through at all. Senators control the puck though. Out to Cowan, a wrister, and that hit Conacher. Fleury went down on the play, gets back up. Conacher was out there looking for a redirect, and I think it might have hit him on the way in. Now the puck is cleared by the Penguins up into the Senators zone. Carlson goes back again. I asked Brooks Orpik about Carlson today, and he said he's the most dynamic guy on the back end in the league. That's how he described him. And of course, he meant that offensively, and he brought up the goal that he scored against the Penguins in Ottawa. He just said not many guys can do that. Here's Paul Martin with it now. A lead pass up the middle. Taken there by Evgeny Malkin. Malkin cuts in, drops it to Neal. Can't pull the trigger. Senators doing a good job defensively. Spezza into the Penguin zone. Looks back for McCulloch. Centers going right to the net was Zibanejad. Fleury stepped out to stop that play. Now Greiva had it poked off his stick to center ice. It's whipped right back into the Penguin zone by Mathot. Knocked down by the quick stick of Paul Martin, who finds Evgeny Malkin. Malkin down the wing, drops it off to Martin. A shot and a save made by Anderson. And he was able to protect that puck in his glove with Penguins going to the net.
Well, you got to remember this save here. Jason Spezza coming down the right side. A man going to the net. Like Spezza looks to the high slot, goes down deep, and what a save by the Flower.
We are scoreless on a Monday night inside Consol Energy Center, and the city of Seattle can now lay claim to 3 major sports championships. Of course, the Super Bowl last night, an NBA title from 1979, and that's right, a Stanley Cup championship. Way back in 1917, the old Seattle Metropolitans beat the Montreal Canadiens, becoming the first U.S.-based team to win Lord Stanley's Cup. And of course, there's talk once again that the NHL could visit the Queen City. We'll see about that.
That team was operated by the Patricks. Frank Patrick, Craig Patrick's great uncle, put that team together.
What the cup looked like back then, Staggy? Was it just the bowl?
Probably was, Bob. And at that time, they were playing in a beautiful new arena in Seattle that at that time I think it held like 3,500 people, and they had a rousing response from the fans when they won the cup there against the Montreal Canadiens in 1917.
Good stuff. There's Brooks Orpik and Paul Martin. They've been out against the Spezza unit, who's not on the ice right now for most of this game. Jason Spezza did not play in the meeting between these two clubs the last time they met. Neither did Malkin.
On this week's Inside Penguins Hockey, Dan Bilesma reflects on becoming the winningest head coach in franchise history. Jeff Zadkoff shows us what it takes to prep his stick for game day and much more. Inside Penguins Hockey presented by Heritage Valley Health System tonight after postgame on Root Sports.
And you see the Penguins, they changed their defense. They put Niskanen and Mata on the ice because the Spezza unit did not come on. They're going to save Martin and Orpik for Spezza and Zibanejad, who was robbed by Marc-Andre Fleury.
The way he did it, he kind of came out and just took it away from him. He just stepped out on him as he came to the goal. Here's Jokinen down the wing, his backhand shot. Anderson with a juicy rebound. It is swept to the corner. And up the wall now.
Is that a juicy rebound or a juicy rebound?
Didn't you see it? Now here's Colin Greening with it. A head down to Kyle Turris. Knocked off his stick. Turris took it away from Kunitz. Shoots it, and Niskanen blocked it. And Bobby Ryan couldn't pull the trigger because Kunitz swept it away from him to the near wall where Gibbons has it. To Crosby and now to Kunitz. No room. Good gap for the Senators as they're able to step up at the blue line. And the Penguins will dump it in behind them. And Bobby Ryan kicks it free for Carlson. Around now for Cowan. And he just able to flick it over to the near wall where Kyle Turris snaps it over to Carlson. Separates himself from Sidney Crosby. Carlson down the right side. Shoots it to the net. Fleury covers it quickly. And there'll be a face-off in the Penguin zone. Take a look at our Barrel Automotive leaders.
Marc-Andre Fleury, 19 wins at home. Crosby with 39 points. Of course, Crosby leads in NHL with 75 points total. And the Penguins, look at the 22 wins that they have. You want to make your home tough to play.
And very entertaining, too, for the fans who have helped the Penguins to their 313th consecutive sellout crowd here tonight. Around to the near side where it's taken by Zibanejad. He gave it away to Paul Martin. Crosby's up ice. Can he get the puck? He taps it back to Gibbons. Here he comes with speed against Carlson. Trying to get around him, and Carlson just got a piece of it. Gibbons goes behind the net. He's hit by Carlson. Zibanejad forgot the puck for a moment. Now finds Carlson. Out in front of the net to Cowan. Kind of fanned on a clearing attempt, but no damage done as McCulloch worked it up. Now in the middle, Zibanejad overskates. McCulloch follows on, but Zibanejad was offside. 6 shots for the Penguins, 3 for the Senators.
Oh, you got a couple of great offensive lines on the ice there. Crosby was in behind the defense. He looks a little bit like he's in some discomfort right now.
Definitely.
Yeah, he had to stop up for that Kunitz pass. And I'm not certain what happened to him, but he's kind of grimacing right now. I don't know if he's looking for air or if he's in some sort of pain. And he's still hunched over here beside me on the bench, so nobody's gone to attend to Sidney Crosby quite yet.
And this is Weirkoch with a now wrist shot, and Fleury able to control the rebound. And there'll be another face-off in the Penguin zone. Well, Sid has gone 4 without a goal. He's got only 2 in his last 9. And he's huffing and puffing on the bench.
And 0-0 here in Pittsburgh. Thanks, Dan, for joining us. Travel out to the west, back a couple of times over the last 2.5 weeks. How's your team seem?
Well, we certainly had a day off yesterday getting in at 4 in the morning, but I think we came out with some good jump here. We wanted to be focused on getting into the offensive zone, getting more shot orientated. We have done that so far.
What's your focus on a guy like Carlson?
We got to make him play a 200-foot game, and you got to be hard on him. You got to be leaning on him. You can't let him get up ice and be a factor. He can skate real well, and he'll get up there if you let him.
Thanks, Dan.
Face-off won by the Senators. Gryba slaps the puck. Fleury steers it up into the netting. Take a look what happened to Sid so far in this one and why he was in a little discomfort on the bench, perhaps.
Yeah, well, he's been banged early. You see, trying to jump around Carlson. Zibanejad takes him down with his skate. Right there, Sidney Crosby. That was the last shift where he had to wait up, and Jerry Cowan ran into him. So, you know, they're going to give him a little special attention.
Kyle Turris takes the draw against Crosby. He won it cleanly.
Look at the interference by Turris on Crosby.
Yep, stayed right with him.
Wow, that was incredible stuff to get away with. And now you know why Turris is a plus 18. He lost the face-off. He stayed right with Crosby, got right in his face and impeded his progress up to the neutral zone. Look, he
shadowed him.
He's still shadowing him after the whistle. Take a look. Loses the draw. What's his job? Look at it. I'm going to put my butt end right into his stomach. I'm going to get between him and the net, and I'm going to play strong defense. And that's what Kyle Turris has given the Ottawa Senators all season long.
That's as close to a shadowing type situation as we've seen in a long time, Bob. Something you did a lot of in your career. You used to shadow Brett Hull, and of course we saw Mario shadowed a lot. And that kind of looked like a shadow there for a moment. Boy. And now here's Malkin with a puck. Sends it back around for James Neal. Malkin in the corner. The Penguins are ranked 24th in the NHL in power play opportunities. And you would think with the likes of Malkin and Crosby on the ice, they would draw more penalties than they do. There's probably various reasons for why they don't draw as many as you think they should. That was a form of interference, really, by Turris, but he got away with it. Now here's the puck dumped into the Penguin zone behind the net. And Mata is there, taken by Neal. The shadowing was sort of legal interference, if you will, for years. Now here's Kunitz. First guy to really get credit for shadowing a lot was Brian Bugsy Watson. He used to shadow Gordie Howe. Bobby Hull, rather, and that's the nickname Bugsy. He was former Penguin. Here's Milan McCulloch. Can't control it. Paul Martin took it away. Now to the right wing, taken by Gibbons, and an offside call as the Penguins enter the Senators zone. We've seen quite a few offsides here in the first period. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, I look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite in the original can. Turris against Crosby. He won that face-off. Another icing call.
Ryan didn't touch that puck. I don't know what he's complaining about. He can't just make an attempt to touch it like the old rules. You actually have to touch it for the star Bobby Ryan. 20 goals on the season. He did not get picked for Team USA, and there was a big uproar over that. Some of the comments that were made.
The word snubbed was used a lot during that process, and there were some people who took exception to that. The guys who were doing the picking said, we didn't snub anybody. We analyzed everybody's game. If we didn't snub a guy. We took a lot of time to analyze his game, to watch him. He got strong consideration. That's not snubbing. No, not the right definition of the word. And he wasn't overlooked. Just somebody else was picked in his place. Now here's MacArthur with it. Puck backhanded to the net. Malkin goes to the goal. He couldn't control as he went to the net. Martin just threw it towards the net, and all of a sudden Malkin arrived there, but the bouncing puck wouldn't cooperate.
And then, yes, Malkin and Crosby are on the ice together here with 8 minutes left. 2-on-1.
Turris shoots it wide of the goal. He had Bobby Ryan on the right side, didn't pass it to him. Carlson tried to get it to the net. Kunitz wanted to spring Crosby, was interfered with again in the neutral zone, this time by Erik Karlsson. And Crosby's had enough of it. He's barking at the referee right now.
He's barking at the ref. He's barking at Karlsson. He's being impeded. And Malkin went right to the net. Everybody's focused on Crosby. And look at this. Gino cannot track down that bouncing puck. Could not stick a fork in it.
Or a pickle stabber.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and Martin saw him. It was Martin who fed it in there, was it not? Good little feed. And look at Crosby. He goes down the ice with this face-off. He sees that the Ottawa Senators have overstacked the right side. What a smart play by Crosby. A face-off win from his own zone going forward.
Kaderi back to the puck. Taps it to the near wall. And behind the net, Spezza takes it there. McCulloch goes to the front of the net. Centering pass to Zibanejad. And the Penguins defend against him and block the shot. I think Kovacic got a piece of that. Now Sutter moves it out to center. And Sutter keeps on going north with it. Brandon Sutter fires and a save by Anderson. And the loose puck in front. And no Penguins were there. Sutter tried to get back to the front of the net. Cody Ceci, first round pick of the Senators, picked here in Pittsburgh in 2012. On the ice, number 5 for Ottawa, taking the same year as Ole Mata. Here goes Ceci down the right side. Poke checked at the last second by Robert Bortuzzo. Now a centering attempt for McCulloch is broken up and cleared up the near wall by Kovacic, who took a hit from Milan McCulloch, and the puck controlled by Mark Methot. Methot 6'3", 230. Ceci is 6'3", 209. Cowan 6'5", 228. Gryba 6'4", Weirkoch 6'5". Niskanen dumps the puck into the Senators zone. Gryba back to get it. Rough ride from Craig Adams. Engelland poked it free, but it comes to Conacher. Jokinen blocked his pass, and it's taken now by Derek Engelland. Again, the puck not cooperating. This time for Engelland as he's able to force it to the corner. Gryba up the wall for Conacher, and into the middle is taken by Eric Condra. And Condra will dump it into the Penguin zone. Back to get it is Niskanen. Conacher got around him. Left it for Condra. They'll make that on the near side to Costa. DaCosta with it, trying to cut to the net. He shoots and scores. Oh my. Fired it in on the short side. His third goal of the year. He sneaked it in on Fleury. DaCosta giving the Senators a 1-0 lead.
Well, that's a scary shot, is it not? I mean, there's no room there. I mean, I can't see it from my side. I saw the puck go up underneath the bar. I couldn't believe it. DaCosta turning it from backhand to forehand as he zigs and zags. Good puck control. Look at that shot. Marc-Andre Fleury goes down on one knee. As soon as he goes down right here, the puck goes up over his right shoulder. Just an incredible shot by DaCosta to make it 1-0 here against the Ottawa Senator team that scored a lot of first goals against the Pittsburgh Penguins. 7 of the last 11, make it 8 of the last 12 games against Pittsburgh. Ottawa scored first.
Fleury went down on the short side, and DaCosta proved that he's able to pick corners. Here's Greening to the goal. He shot it from a sharp angle. Fleury put his stick down, and Penguins were able to get to the rebound. Malkin comes back to center. Zach Smith chasing him as he dumps it in behind the Senators' goal. Anderson had to wait for it to come on the trapezoid. Malkin got knocked down behind the net. That will be a penalty. This is going to be a penalty on the Senators.
Yeah, this is just uncalled for. Zach Smith, a tough customer, but he saw that Malkin was in a bad position. Now Neal is confronting Malkin. Oh, the power play. Well, there's Evgeny Malkin, who was confronted by Neal after the hit in the corner here, right behind the net. There's a penalty on Smith. Neal didn't like it, so he went over to Malkin, bumped into him. Neal over 2,100 penalty minutes in his career, off a 3-point night against the Leafs. Now Crosby giving it to Neal, and as the two came over in the timeout, Malkin was just asking Neal to talk to him. Talk to me, he said, talk to me, and Neal just kept on talking.
Neal's got 110 penalty minutes, third most in the NHL. Number 1 is Tom Sestito of Vancouver with 167. Number 2 is Antoine Roussel of the Dallas Stars with 136. Here's Niskanen shooting, and the save by Anderson. Rebound Malkin, and it hit a Senator in front, Mark Methot, who got over in front of his goaltender Craig Anderson. Now Greiba looking for the puck, poked free to the side of the net, and wound around the near boards and back all the way into the Penguin zone. Well, Neal also has 8 goals to go along with those 110 penalty minutes, and there's not a guy in the league who does his role better than Chris Neal. Not a lot of guys left in the league like him, to be honest with you. Here's Crosby with it. He's a guy you hate when he plays for the other team, but you love him when he plays for your team. Matt Niskanen with it with 1:20 to go on the penalty to Zach Smith. And now it's Neal moving into the left wing to Sidney Crosby. Out now to Niskanen. Best way to take care of the Senators when they're interfering is to score on the power play. And now here's McCulloch looking for a short-handed opportunity. McCulloch down the wing against Matt Niskanen. James Neal steps in to get the puck. And Neal moves it along for Malkin. The Penguins are clicking at 31% in their last 5 home games on the power play, trying to keep that going. Here's Jokinen shooting, and a save by Anderson. The rebound loose in front and cleared away by Cowan to the corner.
Oh, Jokinen is so good at reading Malkin, knows exactly when Malkin wants the puck, when he should shoot the puck. Boy, what a great outlet he is.
30 seconds remaining on the penalty to Zach Smith. Here comes Paul Martin. And stripped away by Condra. But recovering the puck is Brandon Sutter. And Sutter will give ground a bit here to pick up speed through the neutral zone into the Ottawa zone. Sutter drops it off. Tapped off the wall by Jokinen. To Mata. Drive. Score! Deflected in on the doorstep.
I think it went off the stick of Gibbons. 49 in front of the net. Look at him get in the lane of the shot. There's the redirect, the backhanded redirect. And it's hard to know sometimes. Look at the Super Mall presented by Allegheny Health Network. There it is. Not a lot of reaction from Gibbons. Head up. Players in the lane. There's the redirect. Another player in front of the net in Sutter. And that's how you score goals in the National Hockey League. It's hard to tell, Staggy. Gibbons has no reaction when he scores.
And that's his first goal in 6 games, but he hasn't been without chances. He was robbed the other night by Mike Smith on an opportunity that might have turned that whole game around. He was unable to score, and of course he hit the post here in Pittsburgh against Buffalo. I was talking to him about it today. He knows he has to score on Sidney Crosby's line, but in this instance, he's out here on the power play, second unit, and deflects it in.
What's interesting, it almost looked like it hit McCulloch stick first, right out in front of Gibbons, which would have made it even more difficult. And certainly more difficult for the goaltender, Anderson, who had little chance on that redirect. I mean, you recall when Gibbons scored his first goal, it was hard to tell. It was such a big goal for the Penguins. I believe tying it late in a hockey game, and there was no reaction from him.
Crosby carries the puck into the Senators zone and fires, and a save by Anderson. Rebound! Kovacic pushed it wide of the net. Now sends it back around far side for Tanner Glass. For Sidney Crosby behind the goal. Kovacic trying to post up in front. Crosby trying to set it up for Glass getting to the net. And defending on him is Cody Ceci. Now Kovacic lets it cut through for Sid. He wants to step out. Instead goes to the point. Rob Scuderi to the left side to Brooks Orpik. Orpik back over to Rob Scuderi. Scuderi tried to poke it deep. Couldn't do so. Bobby Ryan backhands it up at center ice. And look out. A little bit of a step here as the Senators enter the zone. Zibanejad couldn't take the right wing pass from Spezza. And they look for the puck on the far wall. Spezza's got it. Spezza looks for Zibanejad, but it's picked off by Brandon Sutter. Sutter carrying down the left wing against Carlson, trying to drive to the net. Centers one. Nobody there as it came all the way over to the near wall. And now Adams tries to get control of it. Carlson carries to center ice. Neal on his right takes the pass. Shoots it wide of the goal. Over to the near wall where it's taken by Smith. His shot off a leg, and it comes all the way to neutral ice with 2:08 remaining in the period.
Here we
got a fight.
Bortuzzo.
And Zach Smith.
Sorry. Oh, man. What a hit by Bortuzzo. What a right.
Well, you could feel this one coming, couldn't you? Now Bortuzzo goes down. He's okay. His head didn't hit the ice. You always worry about that.
He was very lucky that his head didn't hit the ice. That was a spirited battle. Wow, Zach Smith came out of the penalty box. He took the penalty on Malkin. Engelland didn't like it, so he talked to Zach Smith. Originally, I thought it was Neal when I saw the 5, but it was 15, not 25. What a battle that was. Oh, man, they were throwing bombs out there. That was incredible. And there they go at it, the bottom right of your screen. Bortuzzo's saying something to Smith, and he turns back, and boy, they both took a couple.
Bobby, I just want to ask you, here to start the hockey game, we have that issue again with Malkin and Crosby kind of getting some abuse. Crosby pleading with the referees. Finally, a penalty was called on Zach Smith. The Penguins cash it on the power play. What are your thoughts on all of that? The way the Senators are approaching the game, the fact that Bortuzzo stepped in and fought Zach Smith, all those things.
I think the Senators know that they've been successful in getting in the face of Sidney Crosby. And Crosby's only got 6 goals in 24 games. Hasn't had a lot of success in his career against the Ottawa Senators in the regular season. And they've always played him physical. They're going to continue to do that. They figure, hey, we'll do the same thing on Malkin. So that's why Zach Smith, who is a tough customer, by the way, that's why he's going to play tough against Malkin. Hey, they watch the playoffs. They know what the Bruins did against the Penguins last year. And that's going to be a recipe moving forward, I think. Guys like Bortuzzo, Engelland, when you're in the lineup, Staggy, you have to show up, and that's what Bortuzzo did right there.
Greiba shoots it high off the shoulder of Marc-Andre Fleury.
You know what's coming. That's why guys like that are in the lineup. Dan Bylsma knows that he put his lineup up there to match what they had coming. Greiba just hit Neal right in the face. Neal went to hit Greiba, and Greiba got his stick right up into the face of Neal. Greiba's going to get called for the penalty, and once again, the #1 power play, it has to make you pay. That's the only way you stop this kind of play that you've talked about and I've talked about, is you put your power play on the ice and you score. And let's take a look. James Neal, as he goes out, just tries to hit the defenseman. There's the cross check right in the face.
That's the oldest trick in the book, isn't it, when you feel somebody coming like that?
That's old-time hockey right there. And in the day, as a winger, you used to go out there and protect yourself. And there's Brian Murray.
Coming up in the first intermission, presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Rob King, Dan Potash is going to talk to Brian Gibbons, who scored a power play goal for the Penguins on the second power play unit. And now we're going to see coincidental minors here on the board.
Well, I hope I answered your question there, partner.
Yes, you did, Bobby, and thank you very much. I thought it was a worthwhile discussion because it's something that a lot of people talk about when they see Sid and Malkin getting abused. And you got a guy like Chris Neal out there who kind of tips the scales a little bit because he's a guy who, he's a heavyweight who can play. He's just a rare bird. And who deals with him? Well, it was nice to see Bortuzzo go with Zach Smith. And now here's Spezza down the right wing with Orpik coming over. The referee got in the way of that. And now Orpik wants to get the puck, but Spezza wheels it right to Evgeny Malkin, who gave it away to Cowan. He can't control it cleanly. 1:03 to go. Neal got a penalty as well, so we have 4-on-4 hockey as Paul Martin moves it along for his partner Brooks Orpik. Takes the ice that's available at center ice into the Senators zone. Drops it off to Malkin. Malkin to Crosby. Back for Gino. Now to Paul Martin. Over to Brooks Orpik. And he can't control it. He's got to go back and gain control of it. The puck bouncing around quite a bit here in this game so far. Here's Paul Martin with it. Martin goes across to Brooks Orpik. Now for Gino again. Malkin hit by Zibanejad, and the Senators get control.
Well, you don't want to get stopped up at that blue line. You don't want to turn the puck over at the blue line on a 4-on-4, especially with a guy like Karlsson, 51 points from the blue line. He'll join Spezza, and it'll be a tough situation for you.
Paul Martin able to get himself free. He's so smooth. Up ahead now to Kunitz. Kunitz against Matha's shot. A blocker save made by Anderson on Kunitz. Now out for Olli Mata. Finds Jokinen. Jokinen drops it off to Mata. Mata carries in deep, knowing the clock. Only a second to go. But he couldn't find a way to get a shot away. And they go game tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play.
Well, a couple of opportunities for Kunitz on the backhand in this period, coming off that right side. There's a good blocker save by Anderson against Chris Kunitz, and a lot of attention being paid to Sidney Crosby here in this game in the first period.
DaCosta from Conacher and Condor at 14:05. Gibbons from Mata and Jokinen at 16:23. Let's go to Rob King for our first intermission report.
Staggy Bob, thanks very much. And coming up on the first intermission report presented by your neighborhood Ford store, Dan Potash will catch up with Brian Gibbons, who had the lone goal for the Penguins in that first period of play. We also have highlights from that first period, and in honor of the Olympics, we asked the Penguins who the best figure skater would be on the team. You'll hear what they say when we return. Goals by DaCosta for Ottawa. Gibbons for the Penguins. It's 1-1 after one period of play. And yes, some medals on hand, an Olympic torch, plenty of Olympic fever here tonight at Consol Energy Center. Of course, the games coming up later this week will feature Sidney Crosby, among others. Let's go back to Staggy and Bob for the start of the second period, guys.
Thank you very much, Rob. Today talking to Kyle Turris, Bob, he was talking about, embracing that role of a second-line center, even though he kind of is on the top line right now. He's still behaving like a guy who's given that job of defending, too, and certainly did a lot of that in the first period.
Yeah, the Ottawa Senators, they weren't going to let Crosby go too far without banging into him, and every time he touched the puck, he was going to be polished off. And then Turris was able to shadow him even after losing a faceoff. Crosby wanted to get to a spot. Turris didn't want him to get there. So it's been very difficult for Sidney Crosby here in this first period of play. Paying a lot of attention to Crosby. Maybe Malkin can break loose or somebody else. Gibbons has got one on the board.
Tonight's face-offs presented by the new face of Northwood Realty Services.
Well, maybe it's James Neal's time. He's got one power play goal his last 13. As you mentioned, he hasn't scored in a while. He's attempted 43 shots and only got 16 on net coming into the game here tonight. And he's attempted 2 tonight, and those haven't got to the net.
He was good against the Senators in the postseason last year, James Neal. The Senators in a 4-on-4 situation to begin the second period. 31 seconds to go now on the penalties to Neal and Gryba. This is Karlsson leading the rush. He shoots it. It was blocked by Mata. Orpik to Mata, or Kunitz rather to Mata, over to Niskanen. Niskanen bumped by Kyle Turris. Now the puck squirts to center. The thought to Karlsson. Into the middle now for MacArthur, all the way across. Turris with a shot. Fleury the save. Oh, and Mata saved the day. That puck was bouncing into the paint, and Mata got there to clear it away. And now Crosby into the Senators zone, trying to drop it off to Olli Mata. Mata back for Sid, and a quick pass in front, right onto the tape of Karlsson. Gryba comes out of the box, takes a lead pass. He's onside, and he fires it. I think he missed the net. I believe Fleury got a piece of that. Now on the near wall, taken by Matt Niskanen.
Well, you get a couple of players coming out of the box there like that, Staggy, and the reason the Ottawa Senator got the breakaway is because the Senators' penalty box is closer to Marc-Andre Fleury. So he got a good head start there and got in behind the Penguins.
This is Mathot driving it in. Spezza in after it. Poked free by Orpik up the near wall to Jokinen and ahead to Malkin. Malkin is hit on the near boards by Zibanejad, but able to get the puck deep. Gryba swings it around now. And a nice snap pass out to the right wing by Mathot to Zibanejad, who centered it. And right there is Malkin. Great back-checking effort there. Malkin turned it north, and Kovacic will dump it up into the Senators' zone.
Couple of close chances for the Senators. That Turris shot really surprised Marc-Andre Fleury. Went off the glove and in behind. What a save by Mata.
Now De Castro, who has scored a goal in this game, or De Costa, I should say. He's at the near side of Gryba, who dumps it to the right wing corner. And here is Matt Niskanen trying to get it out, and it's back to the Senators. Now taken by Condra, who looks for De Costa, and a shot off the blocker of Fleury and out to Ceci. Now to Eric Condra. Back for De Costa. He centered it right on the backhand pass. Conacher, who was standing in front of the goal. Now Ceci with it. Poked free by Weirkoch. Scuderi lifted it up off the glass. Penguins can't get it out. Held in by Ceci. His wrist shot blocked by Sutter. Sutter racing to the puck. Turris also. Sutter to the goal. Stopped by Anderson. And Sutter has really had a presence in this hockey game. He was in the starting lineup. He's had some opportunities tonight. Now here's Conacher with it. Conacher steps to his left against Ole Mata. Try to center for Condra. Great long stick by Mata. Now Scuderi picks off the centering pass and finds Crosby. Sidney Crosby against Carlson. Crosby cuts into the middle, shoots the puck, and it skips into the glove of Craig Anderson through traffic, and he hangs on to it.
Well, some great chances at both ends. First, Kyle Turris with the snapshot, goes behind Fleury. Mata knocks it out of the air. Takes one bounce, and Mata backhands it out of the crease. Sutter the other way. I was surprised that Anderson didn't come out and try to get to that puck. Sutter on the breakaway, confronted by, guess who again, Staggy? Kyle Turris on the back check.
Acquired for David Rundblad, who was not in the lineup the other night for the Phoenix Coyotes, a former first-round pick of the Senators. Turris, a first-round pick of the Phoenix Coyotes. They didn't sign him. I wonder if they wish they would have now. He's a good hockey player. Here's Crosby now, working with Gibbons and Kunitz. Kunitz looks for Sid in front of the net. Now finds him below the goal line. Crosby centers off the stick of Gibbons and all the way out now, where it's taken by Paul Martin to the front of the net. Handled now by Colin Greening. And he'll dump it up into the Penguin zone softly. Paul Martin goes back to get it. 1-1 hockey game. 15 shots for Pittsburgh. 9 for the Senators. Senators back up in the neutral zone. The Penguins, Kunitz whips it into the attacking zone, but Anderson shuffles it along for Carlson. Now out on right wing at Spezza with McCulloch. And Senators, and he had Zibanejad cutting down the slot of Malkin. Once again, really doing a good job defensively, and here comes Malkin. Malkin looks right wing, shot by Adams up high, and a save made by Anderson on a good scoring opportunity for Craig Adams, set up by Malkin.
Yeah, right in the mat, right between the eyes. Malkin dancing again. And he gets an opportunity to play with Adams in England in the absence of Pyatt, who was injured on his first shift in the Penguins' first shift of the game.
Craig Adams has gone 51 games without a goal. He had a good look that time, and now it's Turris. And Gryba. Loose puck to the near wall. Malkin will take it. He collides with Bobby Ryan. Turris dumps it rink wide, but Thought takes it off the bounce. To the corner for Ryan. Let it go through for Turris. Turris up top. MacArthur a drive, and he whipped it wide of the goal, and Fleury never saw that. Ryan without a stick now goes over and runs into Derek Engelland, who got the puck all the way into the Senators zone. They quickly try to go the other way. Turris with it. Turris steps away from Jokinen. Finds MacArthur. Clark MacArthur center. Shot by De Castro. It's stopped by Fleury. Gets it back. Holds it. Centers. And it hit Bortuzzo. He looks for the puck. And it's chopped by Turris wide of the goal. Jokinen sends it to the far side. Now it's Carlson stick handling in the offensive zone. Conacher with a drive. Fleury kicks it out. The Senators coming on here. They're owning the puck right now in the Penguin zone. The Penguins trying to get out of their own end. Neal drops it off for Kunitz. Pieces of sticks all over the ice.
I was going to say, it's like a lumberyard out here.
There comes Kunitz, swinging to his right. Kunitz against Carlson. Comes to the net and shoots it, and a save made by Anderson. Excellent move by Kunitz to get himself free. And Anderson stood his ground to make the save.
Oh, Anderson, they thought he might be an Olympic goaltender at the start of this season. It didn't turn out that way for him. He took that one right off the mask, the shot by Adams. Shots going up, hits him on the side of the mask and then the shoulder. Kunitz, how many backhand opportunities that when he turns to the forehand on Carlson. And a lot of broken sticks all over the ice.
Craig Adams is being attended to by Chris Stewart on the bench. Not sure what happened to him, but Adams with that great scoring opportunity set up by Gino.
Kunitz has got 4 shots in the hockey game, 3 in the first period, had 1 in the second.
Sutter has a lot of energy tonight, Bob.
He's going to get a lot of ice too. He's taking a lot of face-offs. Only 3 Penguins have taken face-offs in this whole hockey game, which is quite surprising.
Scuderi behind the net for Paul Martin. Around now for Brandon Sutter. Sutter leans in, pokes it ahead now for Tanner Glass, but it's taken away by the Senators. Up the wing it comes from McCulloch. He dropped it off to Spezza. Can't get around Scuderi. He quickly moves it ahead now to Kovacic. Kovacic with Sutter trailing, trying to drive to the net. Cody Ceci just rides him into the end boards, but he keeps on coming. Spezza able to get to the puck. Finds the Benajad and now to McCulloch. Try to get it around Scuderi. No way. But now Scuderi hands it to Spezza. Spezza and McCulloch are offside, heading into the Penguin zone. We'll be back, 1-1.
Welcome back inside Consol Energy Center, and look at the Pittsburgh Elite Hockey Team. Headed to Quebec for the Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament, and one of their assistant coaches is former Penguin Mark Recchi. How big a deal is it for these guys to head to Quebec and play in this tournament?
It's a big deal for them for sure. They've been excited all year about it, and finally they get the opportunity. It's right around the corner, and you know they've done a great job all year, and this is just going to be the icing on the cake at the end.
The Pittsburgh Penguins Elite Team is just one of many teams to head to this tournament. What kind of talent will they face?
Well, they'll face a lot of top teams in both North America, Europe, and Canada. They'll pick all the top teams. So, you know, we've done a great job. We're one of the top 15 teams in North America, so it's great.
Well, enjoy the tournament. Good seeing you.
You will. Thank you.
All right, guys. Good luck.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Mark. Delayed penalty situation. Penguins are going to get a power play here, but right now they got the extra attacker on. Gibbons with a puck near side. Rolly Mata and over to Matt Niskanen. Right back to Mata to Malkin. Malkin controls the puck. Traffic in front of the net. Niskanen fires the puck and just fanned on it, and it comes to Colin Greening. And now the Penguins will get a power play opportunity.
It's going to be a high stick. And it's going to be Chris Neal. Go figure. As he goes to the box, lost control of his stick against Kunitz as it comes flying around here. Hits Kunitz right in the head.
And that gives him 2,117 career penalty minutes.
He's bulking up. And this is where you have to make the Ottawa Senators pay. Penguins already with 1 power play goal.
Crosby, Neal, Kunitz, Malkin, and Niskanen for the Penguins. Boy, they work on the power play a lot, don't they, Bob, in practice?
They work on it every day in practice, tossing it around at the end.
Here's Malkin to Niskanen, a drive, and Anderson makes the save.
No stick here. You can see the
Penguins power play is 1 for 1 with 4 shots. Yeah, Condra goes to get his stick. And the Penguins come to center, and it's Malkin trying to feed it through for Neal, and it's chopped away by Condra. Niskanen a little bit out of control here. Fleury's going to come out and clear it away from Zach Smith. Here goes Malkin, galloping to center. Malkin lost it to McCulloch. Drops it off to Greening down the left wing, trying to get around Niskanen. Threw it in front off the stick of Fleury. And now here comes Neal ahead to Sidney Crosby to Gino. Malkin over the line, crosses in, drops it off to Neal. His shot, and it was blocked in front. Anderson went down to his knees, but the puck never got to him. Crosby sends it around for Malkin on the right wing board. Malkin fed it into the slot, cleared by the Senators, but right to Matt Niskanen. Now to Malkin. Malkin shoots it up high. A blocker save made by Anderson. Now out to the point in Matt Niskanen. To Neal. Now to Malkin. Crosby's in front. Malkin to Niskanen. Malkin at the half wall. Down to Sid off his stick. He'll take it down. Look for an open man. Neal, he chopped it wide of the goal. He had the right idea there. It's possible that shot was partially blocked by Gryba as Neal let it go. Now Crosby at center ice with 29 seconds remaining on the penalty to Neal. Here comes James Neal for the Penguins to the right wing and Evgeny Malkin. Now to Crosby. Niskanen in the drive, and that one took off over the net and picked up now by Kyle Turris. He comes back against Paul Martin. Turris, very shifty player, whips the puck wide of the goal.
Boy, you see Fleury's reaction. He did not like the way he played that Turris shot at all there, Staggy.
This is Jokinen. The Sutter going to the net. Jokinen shoots. Anderson makes the save. And a Senator dislodges the net with Sutter going that way. And that is Jared Cowan dragging himself to his skates.
Well, you know, what he had to do there was box out Sutter. He wanted to take away Sutter's stick from the back door. Jokinen's looking, head up. And Cowan took away Sutter's stick. That made it a one-on-one. Jokinen against Anderson, who's down on the knees. See how he turns sideways? He can't always maintain just an upright butterfly position facing the puck, and the Penguins have really got him turned. As a matter of fact, Exhibit A would be in the penalty shot situation where he ended up in the net 3 consecutive times on breakaways.
This is Paul Martin with a Neal back on the ice for Ottawa. Martin closes in, shoots the puck, save made, rebound, chopped out by Sutter, still loose. Martin there, and now squirts behind the net. With Paul Martin was parked there too, and they just couldn't jam it underneath the pads of Anderson. Now this is Gibbons with it, surrounded by white jerseys. And Neal flips it out on left wing to MacArthur. Now Turris and Mata collide at the blue line, and offside is called on the Senators. Well, the Penguins with some good opportunities. The Senators have only 12 shots, 23 for the Penguins.
Yeah, Martin hadn't scored since November 20th. Look at this opportunity. He saw that they were pursuing him at the point so quickly that he just turned it to the outside, and Anderson was able to shut him down and make a second and third opportunity. So good job by Anderson to stay square after making that first save and make a couple more.
Anderson has stopped 22 of 23. He's been sharp. Fleury has faced only 12 and stopped 11 of them. This is Sutter again. Sutter down the wing. Centers for Jokinen, and he poked it just wide off the tip of the glove of Anderson. Taken out by Bobby Ryan. Ryan looked to the left wing. Puck comes through. Spezza can't settle it down, and Scuderi moves it to the right wing. Over to play it is Bobby Ryan. He fell down, tripped over the linesman, and the Penguins go the other way. And again, it's Sutter. I just can't remember seeing Sutter carrying the puck as much as he has, and having that speed and presence as he goes on the attack. It's taken now by Scuderi. Cross now to Brooks-Orpik. Scuderi to center. Little alley-oop there, but it's taken away by DaCosta. Here he comes. On the left wing is off wing. Pulls up. Looks back for Conacher. Conacher will take the puck. Now they have to go back to center ice to control it, and Cowan under pressure from Craig Adams, who stole it. He finds Glass. The shot, and it's off the body of Anderson and trickled wide of the net. Over to the near boards. It'll be taken by Martinez. Pokes it down the wall. Martin able to keep it in. Martin again drags it along the line. Right side. Bortuzzo shoots it, and it hit a stick. Comes to the near boards, and Condra able to turn it out to neutral ice. Bortuzzo over to cut off Conacher and knock it back into the Senators zone.
Boy, you can see Glass with another great opportunity. The 87 flex, a little more flex on the stick.
Does it look like they're shooting high on Anderson to you, Bob?
He goes down, they're shooting high. I think on Marc-Andre Fleury, they're shooting glove hand, and they have one up high on the flower.
Here goes Jokinen. Cuts into the middle, drops it off to Malkin, who stops up beautifully. Malkin gets his feet moving again. Center for Jokinen, and the pass went in behind him. I'd like to just shadow Jokinen sometimes. Here's the thought with it. He shoots it, and Malkin is trying to poke it to the net. Malkin's got it again. Out to Mata. His shot. Oh, he just missed the goal. Off the boards, Niskanen in the drive. Kicked out by Anderson. Condra able to clear it to the near wall. Turning and shooting. His Neal, and he fired it wide. Now Malkin with it again. Malkin out to Mata. Mata for Gino. Great work by the Penguins. They've really come on here. They're dominating the puck control game so far. But it's still 1-1.
Boy, they're just missing some of these opportunities. But they're firing.
Schreiber trying to clear it. Niskanen stops it at center. They'll back up. Ahead to Neal. He chips it ahead to Crosby. Sidney Crosby centers for Kunis. Good stick there in front of the net. as it was broken up by Eric Gryba. And the Senators, Colin Greening sends it down the ice. It won't be icing. The Senators are changing.
Now that's the kind of play I think the Penguins have to work the east to west on Anderson. They tried it. Gryba made a great play to protect an open net.
Kunitz over the puck. Trying to leave it for Crosby, and around now it comes for Scuderi. Pinches. Over to Kunitz, a drive. He fired it wide. Crosby looks for Kunitz. Instead goes to Scuderi. Scuderi slap pass to Crosby. Gibbons is in front of the net. And Kunitz sends it down into the slot to Bortuzzo, who moved up. And he poked it wide of the net. Now Crosby behind the goal in his backhand. And the ice is tilted right now. And finally the Senators are able to get to center, and Bobby Ryan moves it to the left wing. Centering pass for Turris. Tried to find Ryan. Scuderi took that up. Bortuzzo moves it ahead to Gibbons, who comes ahead with Sidney Crosby. Gibbons using his speed into the attacking zone, but Sid was ahead of the play on the right wing.
A couple of tired bodies out there. Back and forth action. And a lot of shots. One by Glass up high. Thanks, Paul. It's 1-1 here. You had a great opportunity there. What did you see and what made you take it to the net?
Well, I think there's only 1 second left for us on the power play there, and they had a guy coming out of the box. So I think they were looking to spring somebody, and my winger didn't kind of come out, so I just kind of took it to the net, and unfortunately weren't able to put it in.
And you and Brooks have been out against the Spezia unit, at least in that first period, for a lot. You know, what does he bring, and what do you have to worry about there?
Yeah, he's a very talented player, very crafty. He's always trying new things, you know, so it's hard to predict what he's going to do.
All right, thanks very much.
Thanks, Bob.
Well, there's the matchup right now. Spezia on the ice. He is crafty, as well as Carlson with the puck, and Martin and Orpik.
Penguins controlled in their own zone. Brooks Orpik trying to get around Spezia, but it's off his stick and up into the Penguins bench. Day Automotive brings you a great day for hockey, February 3rd, 1968. Very first season of Penguins hockey. The first sellout crowd at the Civic Arena watched the Penguins and Leafs play to a 3-3 tie. 12,563. That would have been standing room. The Toronto Maple Leafs were a big draw at that time, for obvious reasons. They're the Toronto Maple Leafs, but also because they were the defending Stanley Cup champions that year.
Last time they won the cup.
Jared Cowan back to the puck, winds it up the near wall. The Penguins have outshot the Senators 14-4 in the second period. Anderson has done the job. He stops it behind the net for Cowan. Over to Carlson. Out to Bobby Ryan. Into the middle now for Turris. To the left wing, the defenseman Cowan pokes it into the Penguin zone. Brooks Orpik back to get it. Chips it over to Paul Martin. Tried to go up the wing, and it's taken away, though, by Bobby Ryan. And then Martin got over to recover against Ryan before he could make a play. Now Carlson dumps it into the Penguin zone. Fleury let it go through for Paul Martin out of Brooks Orpik. 5:50 remaining in the second period. The Penguins and Senators are tied at 1. Now back to get it is Ceci. Hit by Tanner Glass. Ceci just shrugged that off. Steps in front of his own net to DeCosta. Now to Conacher. Nice move around Gibbons. To DeCosta coming down the slot. Mata took it away, but it comes to Ceci. Delivers it behind the net to Conacher. To DeCosta. Conacher in front. Went past Condra. But out to Weirkoch. Crisps the puck. Kicked away by Fleury after it was deflected. Conacher hustling over to the puck. Now the Senators trying to turn up their energy level a bit. Condra with the puck. Crosby, though, is going to get it here. And Sidney Crosby ahead of Kunitz.
Look at the interference there. DeCosta on him, Crosby.
Yep, here's Crosby trying to pull the trigger. DeCosta just threw his shoulder into Sid and interrupted his stride, just the way Turris did earlier.
That's clear-cut interference. I mean, that has got to be called right there. Reminds me of the old Detroit Red Wings.
Paul McLean used to coach there, so maybe you got something going there, Bobby. Here's Neal with it. Bounces it to the net, steered away by Anderson. Remember Michael Therrien complaining about that in the 08 finals. Here's Neal to center ice. Neal dumps it up into the Penguin zone of the corner. Back to get it. Bortuzzo trying to flush it up the boards. Now it comes up the wall for Neal. Nice pass to send Jokinen out to center. Jussi Jokinen swinging wide. Dumps the puck to the corner. Malkin trying to get in there. He was interfered a little bit by Zach Smith as he tried to get in on the forecheck. Now Gryba up the wall for Colin Greening. Chris Neal comes to center. Pocket picked by James Neal. And now Greening down the left wing. Greening swings around the net. Scuderi fell down. Out to the point and Gryba drive, and that's off a stick wide of the goal. Poked out the center by James Neal. Needs to go to the bench. Greivel with it again for the Senators. Good pace to this game. Now Scuderi with it. Senators desperate for points. They're trying to get into that wild card picture.
Yeah, they're only a couple points out of that picture.
They've got to go over 4 teams to get there. Here's Derek Engelland ahead of Sidney Crosby. Jokinen's dead tired. He's got to get to the bench. Crosby trying to get around Carlson. Now following on is Derek Engelland to jab it in behind the net. Swept up the near wall to Bobby Ryan. Ryan wheels it to Turris. And it's offside on the Senators.
Not a lot of traffic out there. Sidney Crosby looking around for some room. It's tough. Makes a play. Somebody steps in front of him. Well, a lot of conversation. It's still going on, and Crosby is just departing from the officials here right now. Chris Lee and Rob Martel, after complaining. That's 3 times. You can see the fingers go up 4 times. Interference in this hockey game. Crosby tried to go around Crosby at the end of that shift, but Carlson, he's got the A on his jersey for alternate captain, so he went over there to listen to what Crosby was saying to the officials, just to make sure that Crosby wasn't getting a one-up on them.
Here's Gibbons with it now. I don't know what that accomplishes. That's the part that's kind of frustrating. Here's Martin with it. I don't know if it gets him anywhere. It might get him nowhere fast.
No, let's see if it gets him anywhere.
Kunis delivers the puck around behind the net. Listen, we spent an entire lifetime watching Mario Lemieux take more abuse than any superstar player in the history of this game. Now here comes Carlson to the right wing, and Zibanejad slaps the puck, and Fleury makes the save. Orpik looks for the puck. It's loose around the net. Fleury's going to dive out and cover it up. Catch some pit hoops Wednesday on Root Sports. Jamie Dixon of the Panthers head south for an ACC game against the Hurricanes of Miami. It all tips off live this Wednesday at 7 on Root Sports.
So a lower body for Pyatt. He won't return to this game. The Penguins have been short of forwards since the initial shift of the game when he got injured.
Stefan DaCosta, free agent of the Senators, who has their goal, wins the faceoff, and Mark Methot, the former Blue Jacket, down the wall to Condra. This shot was blocked by Adams. Methot gets it now. Out to Conacher, a shot, and that one came to the chest of Fleury, and he's able to freeze again.
Boy, tough to see there. A lot of traffic in front of Marc-Andre Fleury. Very first shift of the game. Pyatt tried to hit Greening right there. Greening is a big guy, and boy, something happened to the lower body, obviously, and he needed help getting into the Penguins dressing room.
Bobby, we could make a reel that would last an hour and a half of Penguins going down the runway this year. Just one after another.
Yeah.
That carpet's going to be worn out down there from players going off for injuries.
A lot of times, in the old days, your benches weren't even on the dressing room side. You'd have to go across the rink.
Derek Engelland in on the forecheck. Puck squirts free to Bobby Ryan. Native of the Philadelphia area. Now Turris comes to the blue line. Up as Weirkott's the defenseman, and back to get it is Niskanen. In on the forecheck is MacArthur. And Niskanen is going to win that battle for the puck. Now for Olli Maatta, confronted by MacArthur. And moved ahead by Adams, and now over to Sutter, who dumps it softly behind Cody Ceci. Wants to get around Ceci if he can. Throws a shoulder into him. Behind the net, Adams. Now over to Neal, who's on the ice. He gave it away to Bobby Ryan, working his own zone, but Adams took it away from him to Neal. Malkin steps on for the bench. Malkin's got the puck. Shoots it. Save made by Anderson, and he covers the rebound. Well, Dan Biles was talking at length today about his preparations for the Olympics as we look at our Nissan road ahead. The Sabres and Rangers on our schedule, and then the Olympics begin. And Dan Bilesman said he's already got his first 3 days of practice all planned out for the U.S. team. He's going to give them a lot of video to download and watch on the plane on the way over to Sochi. And he's going to work a lot on special teams, he said, because he pointed out that in the Olympics, 100% of the time, when a team is +1 on special teams, they win. He said that in the National Hockey League, it's more like 78% of the time. But in the Olympics, he said it's 100%. So he really wants to focus on special teams. Puck is dumped in. Taken by Rob Scuderi, who sends it up the near wall. And the Penguins focus on their special teams a lot. Here's Colin Greening with it. Bobby said earlier they practice the power play every day. And Bobby, I would think if they're practicing the power play, that's helping the penalty killers.
You know, oh boy, Bortuzzo stepped up on Smith. Smith wants another piece of Bortuzzo. Those two have already gone at it in this hockey game. And yes, the penalty killers have to be helped by the power play, working on that. And here's Smith went after Bortuzzo again as he makes a change. So this thing isn't getting any more polite out here, is it?
Nope, we're down to the final minute of the second period. Malkin could not continue forward with the puck. Carlson banks it off the boards to center ice, and Condra stepping up on him is Scuderi. Over to chop the puck out is Chris Kunitz. Malkin got it free 40 seconds to go in the period. And was taken again by Erik Karlsson. Now to Condra. Ahead for DaCosta, couldn't take the pass. Brooks Orpik in front of his own net. Chased by DaCosta, he's able to get those strong legs going to center. Crosby tried to move it into the middle of Jokinen. The Senators read that. 18 seconds to go in the period. Look out here. Knocked down by Cowan to the goal. Poked it wide of the net. Cowan behind the goal. 12 seconds left. Senators applying some pressure here, but it's stolen away by Crosby. Back he comes. He's got Jokinen on his right. Here he is with the puck. Jokinen back for Crosby. Broken up. Good defensive play by DaCosta. And he got it to the line as time runs out.
Penguins try to take advantage of Cowan being in behind the Pittsburgh net. Went 3-on-2 in the final seconds. That didn't connect. But their shots are up to 29 right now for Pittsburgh. Anderson's been good.
16 in the period for the Penguins. 8 in the period for the Ottawa Senators, and the score remains tied at 1. More discussions with the referees, and we'll hear some discussion with Rob King in our second intermission report.
Staggy and Bob, thanks very much. As you mentioned, 1-1 with the Penguins out shooting Ottawa 29-16 through 2 periods of play, but still knotted up. Coming up during the second intermission report presented by Mercedes-Benz, Dan Potash with Tanner Glass, and he trash talking on the Pens Olympians and highlights from around the league. All coming up next. Just 1-1 between Ottawa and the Pittsburgh Penguins, but it's been feisty and it's been physical. Plenty of action. Here's what you missed, presented by your Western PA Honda dealers.
DaCosta with it, trying to come to the net. He shoots it, score! Oh my. Fired it into the short side. Sutter drops it off. Tapped off the wall by Jokinen. To Mata, drive, score! Deflected in on the doorstep. The thought to Carlson. Into the middle now for MacArthur, all the way across. Turles with a shot. Flurry the save. Oh, and Mata saved the day. Paul Martin with it. Neal back on the ice for Ottawa. Martin closes in, shoots the puck, save made, rebound, chopped out by Sutter, still loose. Martin there, and now squirts behind the net. So it's a 1-1 game through 40 minutes of play, and Sidney Crosby continues to be defended against by the Ottawa Senators here. They've played hard on him the entire game.
Yeah, they really have, Stag. You know, I was looking down at my sheet, looking at who's been getting the shots, and Sidney Crosby hasn't been getting a lot of them because of this. The Ottawa Senators have tracked him from the initial get-go here, and he's had a gripe about it. He's talked to the officials after both periods, and we'll see if anything comes of it in the third. But he's going to have to just keep trying to work through what's going on there and what's being employed by those Ottawa Senators.
What would your advice be, Bob, if every time he takes off in the neutral zone he's got a guy alongside? Would it be better to come late, just deal with it? What?
I think you just have to work through those kind of things, and you hope that obviously he's brought it to the officials' attention. There's 2 of them out there. He's not going to get the call if he goes down easily, Stag. He's going to have to keep the legs moving. But the worst thing you can do is just give up. You can't. You got to keep the legs moving. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Nobody said it was going to be easy.
You can tweet the booth at Root Sports Pit using the hashtag PensBooth. Send your comments, questions, and thoughts. And they want to know why we're wearing the red ties, Bob. And actually, it's because of it's Heart Check Night. UPMC and the Heart Association have teamed up to remind folks that they should get their hearts checked. And I've done that, Bob. I'm sure you'll probably be told by somebody at some point you ought to do it. And it's a good suggestion. Not just for heart attacks, but also for stroke.
Yeah. Try to keep active.
Now
there's been a few hockey players, Staggy, that have needed their hearts checked.
Here's Gibbons with it. Gibbons trying to center one to Crosby, going to the net. Crosby, backhand shot. Anderson made the save. That was a big one there. Another chance for Gibbons is stopped by Anderson. And now Kunitz looks for the rebound, but it's going to be carried out of there by Colin Greening. Excellent opportunities for Crosby, Kunitz, and Gibbons. But Anderson has been sensational in this game so far. He stopped 30 of 31. He's looking like the goalie that led the league in save percentage and goals against last year for the Senators.
Hard to believe coming into this game his goals against was over 3.
Now sent to the left wing where it's driven in by Neal. Behind the net, stopped by Anderson, and they'll rip it up the near wall. Taken away by Neal. To Jokinen, to Neal, a shot, and Anderson makes the save. And another face-off coming up in the Ottawa zone.
Well, let's take a look at Anderson's work against Sidney Crosby in tight. To the right of Anderson, puck comes across on the backhand, an opportunity for Crosby. And the glove saved by Anderson.
Bobby, you talked about getting him going side to side. It was one of your tips to win, but he's doing a pretty good job on that one. That was a great example of that.
Yeah, it really was. And I think, you know, he's pretty big goaltender, and he'll get locked in on you. Sometimes doesn't come across on the perfect angle. But he gets a lot of help from those big defense that you talked about. They were sliding across in that last opportunity. You just got to be patient here, though. You work through these things. You don't try to create something that's not there. You don't force anything. I think you just wait until a guy like maybe Carlson tries to create something, and then you respond from that. You attack after he goes in on a 3-on-2.
Brooks Orpik digs it off the kickboard behind the net to Paul Martin. It goes by him to the near side, taken there by Neal. Neal ahead to Gino. Malkin digging in as he comes right down the right wing, cutting in now. Malkin shoots it and a save by Anderson. Boy, Malkin went coast to coast there. Malkin with it again on the far side, just dumps it to open ice. And it'll be taken off the wall and ahead now to Spezza. Off his stick to Paul Martin. Martin to Jussi Jokinen. Jokinen trying to stick handle his way in, and he does. Jokinen with a backhand shot. Anderson handles that. Jokinen gets it back. Out to the point, and the shot by Orpik steered away by Anderson. And we're up to 34, 35 shots, something like that. 34 right now on the board for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now it's McCulloch dumping it all the way around. Condra takes it.
But you have to look at the quality of the shots. And how many times can you remember shots coming in on angles? A lot of angle shots for the Penguins here tonight, Staggy, as the defense have taken away the middle portion of the ice, forced the Penguins to those angle shots.
Good hustling play by Kovacic to get it to Niskanen, a shot, and it's off a stick over to the near wall. Niskanen able to hold his ground with the blue line and dump it to the corner again. Anderson plays it in the trapezoid up the near side, where it'll be chipped ahead by DaCosta to center, picked up by Condra, who was tripped by Niskanen. That's going to be a penalty on Matt Niskanen, and the Senators will get a power play opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think the Penguins are happy with the way DaCosta took that puck with his glove and changed directions of that puck, almost carrying that puck of sorts with the open palm, and they take a penalty in the neutral zone because of that. Take a look. Puck comes up behind him, gloves it, carries it, and puts it to the middle of the ice, and then the penalty is called after that. I mean, that could have easily been a call on DaCosta for closing the hand on the puck.
Paul Martin carries the puck out of his own zone to center, moves it on the right wing to Craig Adams. Into the Senators zone on a long drive, goes skipping up into the netting off the head of Craig Anderson as he head-butted that puck right out of play.
Yeah, he really did. That's the second time Adams has hit him square in the head. And this time he took it on purpose. Here's the shot, and he just head-butted that right into the stands. Wow. And he's smelling rubber right now.
And now the puck on the near wall. Behind the net, Erik Karlsson. Smooth skating sweet. The will-o'-the-wisp, we call him, as he dumps the puck into the Penguin zone. On the puck is MacArthur. Moves it out to the right point. Karlsson to Bobby Ryan. Power play for the Senators. This is Spezza with a slap pass off the skate of Sutter. Taken by Ryan. Can't control it cleanly, but centers off the stick of Turris. And Brandon Sutter will lug it back with Adams. Here comes Sutter again against Karlsson. Oh, he almost crossed over on him, but Karlsson was able to take it away, and the Penguins were able to draw a penalty in the process as they went down the ice. The Senators have allowed 8 shorthanded goals, and Sutter had an idea there.
Well, they called an interference. See what happens, Staggy? You do enough talking to the officials, you get a call. And you see what Adams did? He felt Turris from behind. He clutched down on that stick, and the Penguins do get that interference call they were looking for. And Kyle Turris, one of the best in the game so far, he's shaking his head. He can't believe it. Adams is saying, hey, I kind of like it. What's McLean thinking? Oh, what's McLean thinking? A 9.6 maybe? So we'll play a little 4-on-4 action for 1:15.
Zach Smith taking the draw against Jokinen.
Penalties number 7, Kyle Turris, 2 minutes for interference.
Interference to call on Turris. We got 1:08 remaining on the penalty to Niskanen. This is Zach Smith. Smith looks for Mathot. Mathot on the near wing. Smith has 10 goals as a 4th-line centerman. Although he does move up at times. Wrap-around attempt on the near side. The Senators have some pretty good depth in their lineup. They get 56 goals from their top line, 26 from their second, and 20 from their third and fourth each. So that's pretty good depth. Now the puck handled by Cowan. This is Cowan at center, and he's confronted by Kobasu. Swings it to the right wing. Kobasu into the Senator zone. Held up nicely by Cowan on the near wall. Around now for Carlson. Neal will chase him as he carries the center. He's really getting those legs moving there on this rush. Here's Carlson shooting, and he didn't get a lot on him as he flipped it wide of the net. Now here's Neal galloping to center ice. Neal trying to get around the defense. Can't do so, and Carlson just dumps it to open ice on the near wing. Where it'll be Paul Martin taking it. 3 seconds to go on the penalty to Niskanen. He steps out, and the Penguins on the power play. UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Neal can't get it to the net. And the lead pass from McCulloch. Penguins are 1 for 2 with a man advantage. They've got 8 power play shots in this game. And the goal was scored by Gibbons on a deflection.
Wasn't an icing there. The Senators are short-handed right now. They saved their big guns the Penguins have for the power play here instead of using them on the 4-on-4.
Niskanen with a drive and a stick save made by Anderson, and he directed it up into the netting. Get ready for the Pirates' new season by reliving the best games from last season. Pirates playback continues with the West Coast Thriller against the Angels on June 23rd. That's when the Pirates stormed back from a 3-run deficit in the 9th to win in extra innings. Pirates playback 2013 Sunday at 7 on Root Sports.
Typically you would use your elite players on a 4-on-4 situation with the open ice, but with the power play at the backside, the Penguins rested Crosby and Malkin for just these seconds.
Crosby had it taken away by Smith, who threw it ahead. Condor in a foot race with Malkin. Malkin wins the race. But the errant pass will be taken by Mathot. Senators are onside. Mathot tries to center. Condor there. Malkin swept it away from him. Condor got a shot away. Fleury the save. Oh, centering pass for Greiba. The Penguins picked it off. And here goes Neal with Malkin in tow. Malkin drops it back for Kunitz, who pokes it deep. And Mathot will take it there. Took a hit from Kunitz, who went tumbling to the ice. Kind of got out of the way of that hit. Now Neal will dump it into the Penguin zone. Chris Neal. And the Penguins are back. And the Senators are back at full strength. Here's Robert Bortuzzo coming to center. And he'll dump it into the Senators zone. Anderson shoots it away from Sutter. Derek Engelland takes it on the wall behind the net to Brandon Sutter. Sutter, good job to protect the puck. Engelland came over to help out. Now over to play it is Tanner Glass. Threw it back towards the net. Quick stick by Erik Karlsson over to Turris. He carries back for the Senators. Left wing to MacArthur. Now for Turris going to the goal, and the pass doesn't connect. Turris was tied up by Orpik going to the net. Now Orpik with it. And one hand on the stick. He's turned it up the boards. Weirkoch pinching down. Penguins, though, able to keep possession of the puck, and it comes down to Tanner Glass. Into the middle for Sutter, who directs it to the Senators' goal. Now it's Weirkoch with it. Bobby Ryan back to near Weirkoch, who dumps it up into the Penguins zone. The Senators shuffle the deck. Scuderi lugs the puck to the right wing now to Jokinen. Jokinen finds a little lane and dumps it into the Senators zone. Mathot will go back to play it. Here comes Adams on him. Mathot turned it up the near wall. Where McCulloch got it up the boards. Out into the middle to Zibanejad against Scuderi. Good one-on-one defending there by Scuderi, but Zibanejad controls it for Spezza. Spezza down the wing. Spezza coming to the goal. Centers it out to Mathot. Slap shot stopped by Marc-Andre Fleury, and he holds it. And Fleury saw that all the way.
Some good dancing. Martin talked about Spezza. Zibanejad didn't even start the season with the Ottawa Senators. He's got 11 goals, and there's Mathot trying to do some damage. Well, Staggy, you said it. He's rough and tumble, over 2,100 penalty minutes in his career, but Saturday night against the Leafs, there's one for Chris Neil. There's another one for Neil, and look at the dish pass. A 3-point night, a career night for Chris Neil.
His 829th hockey game, all played with the Ottawa Senators. He sets up a little barrier around his stall in the locker room. He doesn't want you coming inside that barrier. Last year during the playoffs, he put his laces, made like a crease, and he told the media to stay out of it.
What's he going to do?
What he always does. Now here's Crosby into the Senator zone. Kunitz a shot and a blocker save made by Anderson. Now taken by Kunitz again for Gibbons. Gibbons trying to step out. Stripped of the puck by Spezza. And ahead now for Zibanejad. Penguins involved in a tight game here. They're getting a lot of shots. They're not scoring. And it's interesting because it's a test for the Penguins to deal with the fact that Anderson's stopping them and not get frustrated by it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kunitz is getting the shots. Sutter has got 4 shots, and Martin has got 4 shots. And we saw Crosby had one good chance to start this third period, but he's got to keep plugging away in this one.
The crowd trying to help the Penguins here. The Penguins' 7th man in the 313th consecutive sellout. While the Penguins are trying to get the league-leading 23rd home win. There's Neal shooting, and it's off a stick. Into the near side, Malkin with it. Malkin to Jokinen, looks for Neal. It's going to be taken by Greiba, and taken away from him by Jokinen. Greiba sent it back around to the far side where Mathot will take it. Mathot moves it out in center. Honeckers with a shot up high on Fleury, and a face-off coming up.
Tanner Glass came into the game with 159 hits for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and our Subway sandwich of the game, Tanner Glass on CC. You know, when he's out here, Staggy, and he hits somebody, like you can feel it. You know, I can feel it from where I am, and I'm always kind of anticipating Tanner Glass and watching him the way he explodes into those body checks.
Back around to the near side. It'll be taken now by Niskanen. He tried to get it out. Back to center where it'll be driven right back in by Colin Greening. Ole Mata sets it up behind the goal. 37 shots now for the Penguins, 19 for the Senators. Mata moves it on the left wing, steered in by Kobasu behind the net. And an icing call here.
Yeah, Kobasu saw Neal kind of stepping up into his path. And Kobasu kind of took his eye off that puck a little bit. You take a look here on the left side of the screen. There it is. He's got to touch it, but he saw Neal coming into his kitchen, into his laces, if you will.
I thought he did steer it there, but he
just missed it. Yeah, well, you know, you hear the footsteps coming, Staggy.
Chris Neal has a convenient way of spitting. He's able to drive that spittle right between the gap in his teeth. He keeps showing shots of him. He's got the classic hockey smile, doesn't he? And the puck back into the Senator zone, taken there by Cowan. No icing on the play. Cowan now under siege. The Penguins, Tanner Glass and Turris. Turris sent it around far side. Bobby Ryan leaves it there for Carlson. Carlson into the Penguin zone. Carlson drops it off. MacArthur back to Carlson. Oh my goodness! Marc-Andre Fleury with one of the most amazing saves I've ever seen. And now we got a battle over there in the corner with Fleury holding the puck in his glove. Well, we've seen a lot of great glove saves.
We've seen a lot of great glove saves.
Bobby, that was
right in front of my face. I saw a wide open net. I saw Carlson measure it up. And then I saw this big white leather thing come out. Nowhere.
That was a showstopper there, folks.
That was absolutely incredible. And I looked over to Ray Ferraro, who's beside me between the benches with the Canadian Network, and we looked at each other in disbelief. We just could not believe what we saw. Marc-Andre Fleury reached up, thrust up with that glove. Look how low the glove is, and he keeps his eye on it. He's got to reach up. Take a look at the overhand, and this thing's right about on the goal line.
That's one of the greatest saves I've ever seen.
Oh, that is absolutely undescribable.
So many glove saves are made where the puck, it looks like a great save by the glove, but a lot of times the puck is shot right into the glove. But
no, he moved it. Yes,
yeah.
You could see that glove. It was right above the pad. He kept his eyes focused, his body just enough upright that he could make that save, Staggy. Look at that. Gumby. And Carlson, who measured up, look at Carlson's reaction. He can't believe it. He measured up Fleury and beat him with a wrist shot in Ottawa this year, if you can remember, in the same spot where when he went up high on Marc-Andre Fleury in the 5-0 Senator win. And Marc-Andre Fleury had to be expecting, and I don't know how, because that pass came through bodies. Marc-Andre Fleury, a normal goaltender, would have been locked in the butterfly. I don't know how he pushed over with the right skate, was able to push off and get across to make that save. Wow, a couple of penalties after that exchange, almost secondary to what we saw. And now conversation with Derek Amell, the linesman, and Dan Bilesma and Tony Granato.
I think everybody's shaking their head talking about Marc-Andre Fleury at this point. I mean, that's just...
Well, I mean, you can't see that enough.
No.
Take a look at that.
Look at his legs. Look how his body's contorted to get that glove in the air.
Well, it's just you don't give up attitude. 1-1 hockey game halfway through the third period. You said it. It's a showstopper. I mean, Tanner Glass needed a new helmet, and the number 12, Kobasu's helmet's over there.
That's a big pumpkin that Tanner Glass has too. I hope that helmet fits.
Does he have a screwdriver over there?
There's the thought dumping the puck into the Penguin zone. Fleury stops it.
2 minutes red sportsmanlike conduct.
Offside call.
Yeah, in the Olympics you can't play without a helmet. Like, if you lose your helmet, you got to get right off the ice or you're going to get a penalty. And Tanner Glass, I don't know if he likes that one or not. No. Is he getting his helmet back? He's getting another helmet. I wonder if he's getting his own helmet back. Maybe Neil's helmet would fit. There he is. He's got it fixed up.
Well, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. We've got 4-on-4 hockey here with Glass and Turris in the box.
Crosby had a breakaway.
And carrying to center now is Carlson, and he'll cross into the Penguin zone. The near wall stripped away by Crosby and taken now by Cowan. At center ice, it is Jason Spezza into the Penguin zone. He fell down, the puck on the near wall, and now here carrying in front of Zibanejad to Spezza, and another big save by Fleury and Jason Spezza. Now Kunitz goes the other way with Crosby.
Malkin's waiting to get on the ice. So the door's been open for what seems like an eternity. Finally, Neil and Malkin get on the ice. Crosby had a chance at a breakaway. Kunitz pass was elevated and a little too far ahead of Crosby to flag down.
Turris is in the box for unsportsmanlike conduct. Glass is in for roughing at 9:27. And we have an icing call here.
The Penguins are +3 in the 4-on-4 situation this year. The Senators a -3. And Marc-Andre Fleury looking to reach around for some water in the back of his net. Take a look at the chance. Oh, right there. Kunitz had Crosby flying up behind the Ottawa Senators defense.
Right off the draw, the shot off the side of the net by Ole Mata.
Oh man, hit the goalpost, Staggy.
And now to the near side, taken by Niskanen when he couldn't control it. And Mata will go back to get it with Milan Michalek coming down. He's able to find Niskanen. Ole Mata, just amazing. Down the left wing comes Neil. Neil shoots, and a save made by Anderson. Neil trying to get to his own rebound. And the puck comes to the stick of Michalek, who leaves it for Cowan. 8:52 to go in the third period of this game, deadlocked at 1:16 seconds remaining on the coincidental penalties. Neil lost control of the puck. This is Colin Greening with it to Mathot, a wrister. Sticked away by Michalek. He tried to deflect it, and it just died there Off his stick and picked up by Malkin, who cruises back to center. Around Ryan, who tripped him. No call.
Oh man, Pittsburgh's got 7 guys on the ice. But they didn't make a call as they were all right beside the bench. Looked like a sea of black. Now Malkin was
They're
engaged.
calling it now.
They are calling it?
I think so.
Well, what happened is Malkin was going, he was knocked down. The Penguins defense were trying to make a change. The puck came back the other way.
See the words too many?
Yeah, I guess they figured it out. But it's only going to be 1 penalty for 8 guys on the ice. But Malkin got knocked down, and there you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I could not believe it. Malkin went down after the hit by Ryan. They thought there was going to be a penalty. The Penguins were trying to change their defense, and everything got discombobulated.
Senators are only on their second power play chance. They did not register a shot on their first. Jokinen serves the penalty. Senators have a good power play on the road. This is their second chance. Carlson shoots it. It's just beyond the blocker of Fleury to the near wall. Spezza, ranked #1 in the league on the road in the man advantage. Now taken by Carlson. Carlson's ever so dangerous out for Ryan, and that's not a good pass. He'll have to go back and get it. Anderson is urging him to hurry with Adams coming after him.
Ready?
Look at Carlson skate. Paul Coffey-like as he comes to center ice. Drops it back. Left wing pass for Ryan. Not there. And Paul Martin backhands it back into the Senator zone. Here he goes again. To the right wing. Spezza. Moves it back to Carlson. Carlson to Ryan. The shot. And I think that went off the stick of Fleury. Over to the far side, Kobasu battles to get to the puck. Now he's going to bank it ahead for Tanner Glass. He'll have to catch up with it against Ryan. Ryan stays with him and knocks him down. Glass kept on working. He's got to hustle to get back into the play, and there goes Carlson again. Carrying the puck to the right wing, and Turris stripped away from him by Paul Olimata, and then Scuderi sent it around. Carlson's going to keep it in. Carlson slap pass came right to the stick of Tanner Glass, and he's able to backhand it all the way down. 36 seconds to go on this Penguins penalty.
#1 road power play, the Ottawa Senators. Number 30 at home.
Here's McCulloch trying to center. Oh, Scuderi put his body down to prevent a centering pass. That's a good defensive play because there were a couple of white jerseys headed to the net. And with 15 seconds remaining on the penalty to Jokinen, one more rush. Cody Ceci lugs it up the middle of the ice. Shoots it off a leg. To the near corner, Paul Martin back to play it. Comes free now for Kunitz. Backhands it, but not out. 1 second to go on the penalty. McCulloch with it down to Conacher. Jokinen getting back into the play. Look out. Here's Ceci. Slap shot. That'll hit something on the way in. Maybe Fleury. Now Zibanejad chops at it. And then that's stopped in front. But now Kunitz has control. The Penguins at full strength. Sutter trying to catch up with the puck. Ceci fan on a clearing it down. The Senators able to get it back to center. Sutter's tired. He heads to the bench. Got a long way to go. As Orpik goes back and is taking a rough ride there from Colin Greening is really strong.
There's a lot going on here right now. Away from the puck. That was indeed a save by Fleury. Staggy at the end of that power play for the Senators.
Here's a great chance now for Bortuzzo. And the save made. Bortuzzo gets his own rebound. Backhand shot. Anderson blockers that away. Now Malkin falls down. And with 5:34 to go in the third, the Senators bring it back to center. Niskanen's got to navigate around a stick on the ice. Taken now by Jokinen. Look out, Zach Smith with it, but Niskanen will take it away from him. He was tripped up by Jokinen, it appears. Smith was, nothing called.
Got Neal going out with Malkin in front of the bench here.
Zach Smith carries the puck now for the Senators, and Neal joins the rush. Smith looks for Neal, shoots it, kicked out of there by Fleury. Out to the blue line, taken by Conacher. He whipped it back wide of the goal. Scuderi's got it now. 40 shots for Pittsburgh, 25 for the Senators. That's 65 on the night, higher than the average of the number of shots taken in games for the Senators this year. Now down the wing comes Neal. Neal cutting in. James Neal turns, shoots it, and a save, and a rebound right to Cowan. And he'll back it off the boards to center to Conacher. Corey Conacher works it ahead to Bobby Ryan. They look for Turris. Now handled by Tanner Glass, who sends it over to Olimata. A lot of room now as he comes down the left wing. Olimata trying to get around Carlson. Centered in and went off a leg. And behind the net, Sutter took the body as the puck kept scoring over to the near wall. Turris took a hit to make the play up the boards. With the Penguins, Sutter over there again, working to keep the puck in. But here comes Turris back now for the Senators. Tries to get around Mata. He does. Turris centers, and the puck comes into the netting. I'm not sure how it got there. It was deflected. And now Conacher battles at the side of the net with Rob Scuderi.
Puck went off Rob Scuderi. Chris Neal getting into it with Malkin and Crosby on the last shift. Up and down action. Not a lot of whistles here in Pittsburgh.
Just as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Let's see it again. Can't see it enough.
No. No. Turn on Root Sports tonight, you're going to see it. Turn on any network in Canada, you're going to see it. Turn on any highlight show on the NHL Network, whatever, Staggy. That one there, it's going to go down.
Absolutely. Key face-off, Spezza against Crosby. Sid won it cleanly. Paul Martin backhands it around near side for Kobasu. Cowan pinches down on him. He was ready for that, but the puck came out to McCauley, who dumped it back into the corner. Now around behind the net, Brooks Orpik cuts off Spezza, pushes it up the wall. Crosby tried to get over and play it. He was jostled out of the way. Spezza centers. Nobody home. Over to the near side, Cowan. He'll poke it to the corner. Back around behind the net. Spezza there, centers. Right to Kunitz. And Kunitz comes straight ahead. Kobasu follows on. Back around for Sidney Crosby. This is the kind of game where Sid scores a winning goal. He hasn't been able to break free all night. And it's his kind of game. Now the puck is dumped into the Senator zone of the corner.
Yeah, I think you're right. He is not happy right now. Maybe that's a bad thing for Ottawa.
Bortuzzo lost control of the puck. Jokinen has it now. Winds it up for the Penguins. Jokinen softly dumps it in. Did he gain the red line?
Well, it was right in front of me. I would say no, but they gave it to him.
He sure did. Been one of those nights. Here's Malkin stealing. Malkin looks for Neal. Neal's got it. Neal holds it. Centers for Jokinen a shot. Oh, that hit a leg in front. Back around near side, Neal. Reverse hit, knocking down the Senator on the near wall. That was Greiba. Now Bortuzzo shooting. What a blocker save there by Anderson. He reached out and poked that puck away. Came through traffic. Now it's dumped into the corner. Back to get it as Bortuzzo whacks it up the near side. Colin Greeny crashing in for the puck. Malkin got it to Jokinen. Ahead for Neal. And it's going to go off the glass, and Neal takes control of it. Brought it out over the line. Chopped back to center. And picked up now by Bobby Ryan. Ryan was the man taken right after Sidney Crosby in 2005. Here's Adams near side to glass, a backhander down low. Anderson didn't control the rebound, but Conacher was able to get to it. Conacher comes back for Turris. Puck knocked out of midair by Ole Mata. Bobby Ryan tries to settle it down, whacks it, and it comes out to neutral ice. 2:03 to go. In regulation time, the game tied at 1. 42 shots for the Penguins, 25 for the Sens. Wierkosh with it. Off the stick of Sutter up into the Penguin zone. Niskanen back to play it. Taken there by Ole Mata. He loves these games, Ole Mata. He loves the pace. Up the left wing comes Kunitz. Into the Senator zone. Left it there for Sutter. Now in the corner, taken by Ceci. He sent it around near side where it'll be carried by Wierkoch. A long lead pass off the stick of Spezza to Orpik. And now to Martin. Martin gets his feet moving, able to escape the zone. Or was he? No, he wasn't. Zibanejad takes it, centers, and it goes right behind the intended receiver, Spezza. Back around to the near wall where it caroms back to center and taken there by Cowan. Minute 15 to go in the game. Crosby on the ice. Carlson separates himself from Crosby. Tried to stick handle around a man, and it came over to the far wall. Spezza to Greening. Back to Spezza, who gave it right to Paul Martin.
1 minute.
Martin ahead to Sidney Crosby. Crosby to Malkin. Back to Crosby. Out to Martin. His shot. Oh, deflected up over the net. Sidney Crosby has it now. Trying to power his way to the front. Goes to the point to Orpik. Back to Crosby. Sidney Crosby to Neal. Malkin's open near side. Neal around for Malkin. Malkin out to Orpik. Slap pass over to Martin. A shot deflected. And it still got through to Anderson somehow, and he's able to glove it.
Oh, a lot of traffic in front of the net. Jokinen with an opportunity and a feed from Neal. He whiffed on it. And then Malkin went to the net. He was knocked over Anderson by Cowan, who didn't like that. Nor did Zach Smith, who came over and said, hey, Malkin, I don't like it. Those two going at it right in front of us.
Wow. Pretty good battle between these two teams that developed a healthy dislike for one another in the playoffs last year.
Chris Neal getting into it here in between this face-off, and he's yapping at the Penguin bench, and Kunitz right now. And this just has been going on and on and on all night long.
These two teams will meet again, and I think it's the last game of the year for the Penguins at home ice. And it could be a huge game for the Senators as they might be trying to get into the playoffs.
Crosby just told Malkin to take the face-off. He said, I'm going to the front of the net. You take this face-off, Gino.
Against Turris. Loose puck, and the Senators jumped in there to get to the loose puck. As Bobby Ryan jabbed it all the way down into the Penguin zone. Ole Mata goes back to get it. Looks like we're headed to overtime. Here we have 26 seconds remaining in regulation. Ole Mata ahead to Malkin. Now up the left wing for Neal, interfered with by Turris as the puck came into the Senators zone. Back to get it is Crosby up the near wing. Niskanen with a drive, it hit a leg, and Mata's going to have to retreat to center. Now over to Gino. Malkin, beautiful stick handling. Here he comes, trying to get around Greiba. 7 seconds to go in the game. Centers, goes past Crosby to Niskanen, a shot off the end boards. 2 seconds to go, and we will head to a Barrel.com overtime as the game ends 1-1 through 60. 44 shots for the Penguins, 25 for the Senators. We'll return in just a moment. It's time now for Barrel.com overtime. It's not been kind to the Senators. They're 5-10, but the Penguins are 6-2 in overtime. And this is the most memorable overtime game winner this season. Crosby doing it all himself on the island. That was a pretty good one too, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, they're 6-2 in overtime. The Pittsburgh Penguins. The Ottawa Senators are 5-10. They've had 15 games go beyond regulation this year.
Well, they got a point. That helps their cause. They need it more desperately than the Penguins do right now. The Penguins matching the desperation of the Senators tonight. Give them high marks for that. Now taken by Ole Mata, and that's what the Penguins are going to have to do. You know, when you get a 15-point lead in your division, these other teams come in here desperate. It's a good way for the Penguins to maintain a certain level of intensity. On the left wing now, Mata. It's offside as they try to enter the Senators zone.
Well, had they known he was a soccer player, they would have said he had control with his foot going over the blue line.
Yes, he did, Bob.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, see, the Senators averaging 66. Now, that means that's the combined totals for both teams in the game. And it's just the environment that the Senators create. They take a lot of shots. They give up a lot of shots. And you can see we're just in Phoenix. I knew they were up there.
We're at 69 right now, Staggy. 44-25 in this one.
Yep.
We're not done. Somebody's going to get another shot.
Here's Carlson to center. He goes left wing now to Cowan. Hooks it up into the corner. Spezza back to play it. 4-on-4. Martin has the puck. Ahead to Kunitz. He's out here with Crosby and also Orpik. Against Carlson, Kunitz drives in, shoots it. And Anderson makes the save.
Kind of handcuffed him a little bit with that shot. I think you would want to try Carlson. If Carlson gets up ice, you want to hit him and keep him in the offensive zone and go the other way 2-on-1. But that shot was fought off by Anderson.
Barely.
Well, even Carlson needs a break. I mean, he can play well over 30 minutes, and he will in this hockey game.
Face off to the right of Anderson. Smith and Crosby. Clean win. One-timer Mata. Oh, he crushed that puck wide of the goal. Now Niskanen sends it back around behind the net. And you saw what Mata can do when he takes that full windup. Well, Zach Smith comes to center. And a swing around Niskanen. He jabs it back into the near corner. Mata able to push it along the wall, and it's going to be dragged to center ice now by Sidney Crosby. 1-on-2. Crosby trying to come to the goal. Shot! And it's stopped by Anderson. Smith went crashing into the net. Anderson's been shaken up a bit. And Crosby was bound and determined to get that puck all the way to the goal.
He threw Smith off with one hand and shot it with the other. That's what I saw from the backside. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but watch the strength of Sidney Crosby. Zach Smith is a big, strong man. Sidney Crosby, one hand, shot it with one, and threw Smith with the other. Absolutely just tossed him. Look at this. That is strength, and that starts from the waist down. That strength. Modest shot hit Anderson in the head as well. Staggy, look at that. Played it with the head. That's the third time Anderson has been hit in the head with a puck in this hockey game.
I had no idea. I mean, that puck was really fired too by Ole Mata. That mask is getting a workout. If he wasn't wearing one, he wouldn't be putting his head in there. He'd be ducking all over the place, and that's the way they did it in the old days. They used to get down low. Here's Malkin to Neal. A shot is blocked. The guys couldn't shoot the puck like they do now. Here's Neal behind the net. And moves it out now to Brooks Orpik. Sends it back around behind the net to Evgeny Malkin. Malkin turns his back on Cowan. Puck wanders away from his stick, but now Neal takes it. Good puck protection here for the Pens, but finally Colin Greening will go the other way. Colin Greening cuts into the middle, crisscrossing with Zach Smith. He dumps it in. Fleury stops it behind the net. And carrying it out now is Paul Martin. Martin turns back, finds Neal. Neal with Malkin trailing behind. Malkin shoots it, and it's off the stick on the thought and off the glass. Spezza had his pocket picked by Neal. Malkin has Bortuzzo. His shot. Stop. Rebound Neal. Neal holds it. Score!
Well, the turnover by the Ottawa Senators, the steal by Pittsburgh, and the finish by James Neal. The patience, the moonwalk, and the deposit into the wide open cage. What a play by James Neal, our McDonald's player of the game.
As we said in the telecast, he was overdue. He waited until the overtime to break that 8-game scoreless drought.
He picked the pocket of Spezza, Malkin. There's a shot by Bortuzzo. There's the moonwalk and the vacant net. That is absolutely terrific. That patience on the 4-on-4 by Neal. Able to cradle that puck back a couple of times. You could see that they were unable to block that opportunity. What a goal by Neal, and what a hockey game.
He brought the house down. The real deal wins it for the Penguins in overtime. Let's go to Rob King.
That was fun.
Staggy Bob, thanks very much. And Jay, really a good game. Physical, contentious, both goaltenders good. A lot of intensity in this game between the Pens and Sens.
Yeah, I won't expect. They're a team that's battling to get into the play. They needed great goaltending, and they're getting it from Anderson right now. He certainly got it tonight. So you love this kind of, it's an atmosphere that takes the game to another level, and this was a big, big win for Pittsburgh again, just to keep pushing people down.
Yep. Penguins win by the final score of 2-1 in the Barrel.com overtime. Coming up next on Penguins postgame, we'll have extended highlights and postgame reactions to this game. Jay will tell us straight highlights from around the league, and look forward to the game coming up against Buffalo on Wednesday. All that and more coming up next on Penguins postgame.